Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Thursday, January 3rd, 2019. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. Police are investigating a shooting incident at Stony Grove that left 2 men hospitalized. The incident occurred at about 6:12 a.m. on Tuesday, January 1st, 2019. Preliminary investigations so far have revealed that a 22-year-old man of Bath Plain and a 28-year-old man of Craddock Road were attacked by unknown assailants while in a motor car. They both sustained gunshot injuries about their bodies and were transported to the Alexandra Hospital. The crime scene unit visited and processed the scene, taking a number of items of evidential value into custody. Investigations into the matter are ongoing. Anyone with information about this incident are asked to contact the Violent Crime Unit at 662-1023 or the nearest police station. Meantime, in his New Year address, Premier the Honourable Mark Brantley gave the assurance that his government will continue to explore more effective ways to combat crime.
In the year ahead, challenges will emerge, some old and others new. Chief among these will be the scourge of crime. As a people and as a nation, we must set our face against crime and violence. My government abhors and condemns all forms of crime. We will work harder and invest heavily to ensure that our communities are safe and that our crime fighting and prevention capabilities are strengthened and enhanced.
The Premier also asserted that his government will tackle every situation involving crime and criminals with the level of aggression and commitment required.
As we increase the government's support for our security forces, we will continue to provide them with the necessary training, equipment, and vehicles that are required. We will continue to address the social issues that contribute to crime. We will continue to work with our counterparts in the federal government to strengthen existing and create new legislation to secure greater safety of our people. We will deepen the partnership between the police and the community.
Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley. The people of Nevis have responded favorably to the 30% increase in water rates, according to Minister with Responsibility for Water Services, the Honourable Spencer Brand. Minister Brand says he is happy about this response.
The people of Nevis, Mr. President, would have responded to this 30% increase. And for the period, Mr. President, between January to October 2017, the water sales on the island of Nevis would have amounted to $4,129,881. And out of that, Mr. President, the water sales alone was just about $4 million. In the same period, Mr. President, from January to October, after we would have implemented the 30% increase, I think was in April, we would have seen, Mr. President, an increase in the collection at the Water Department of $4,894,461, representing a 16% increase, Mr. President.
Meantime, as noted by Minister Brand, the Nevis Water Department is offering an amnesty to consumers whose bills are in arrears.
The numbers that I'm seeing, Mr. President, from the Water Department, we are seeing an arrears in the amount of some $2.7 million. Now, Mr. President, I am a little bit concerned about that. So here is what I'm proposing. They have responded with the increase in the water rates, and I think that is only fair, Mr. President, that as a good, caring government, that we give back something. And I'm saying to those persons who are in arrears that if they are to settle this arrears, Mr. President, by the end of April, that we will offer them a 10% discount on the arrears. Not the current water bill. Let me make that clear. I'm hoping that they will still keep current. But the arrears, we are proposing a 10% discount, Mr. President. Mr. President, I don't want to say that we are going to disconnect anybody's water. We don't want to do it. So we are encouraging our people to settle these outstanding water bills so that we can collect as much of that $2.7 million, Mr. President, as possible.
Minister with responsibility for water services, the Honorable Spencer Brand. Still to come.
And so the Social Services Department decided we're going to step in here. And when students are suspended, we are going to take over.
We'll give you the details after this break.
Even though I'm in Taiwan studying, I stay connected to home by watching local news on NevisTVOnline.com using my NTV app on my mobile device. Remember, if you don't see and I don't see, NNC on NTV. Try it now.
Welcome back. The Caribbean Development Bank CDB Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET Enhancement Project is about to bring some change to the education system in Nevis. That is according to Junior Minister of Education, the Honorable Troy Liburd, who says the program will involve training that will prepare the island's secondary school students for the workplace.
We're going to be preparing our students so when they are finished with school, when they are done with high school, they could step out into the world of work. They could go out and be a skilled tradesman. They could go out and be a skilled chef, skilled hairstylist or beautician. They could go out and be a good seamstress, a good plumber, a good electrician, straight out of school. There wouldn't be that need for that 5 to 10 years to learn the craft. We are going to be teaching them the skills in school. Don't get the impression that TVET is just practical, because there will be different levels of qualification that you can achieve. Because we have some persons who are very academic, who also want to be practical, and there will also be opportunities for them in TVET that they could follow that technical path and get high-level certification. So when they are finished with high school, if they want to go on to tertiary institutions and pursue careers that are technically inclined, that they will have the necessary background and the necessary qualifications to get them into those areas.
The Education Minister also spoke to immediate plans under the TVET Enhancement Project.
The Ministry of Education received 190 desktop computers, 50 laptop computers, and 6 projectors. These are to be distributed between the 2 government high schools at Nevis. As a matter of fact, Mr. President, we are supposed to be refurbishing the main computer lab at the Gingerland Secondary School, and we are supposed to be outfitting a new room as a computer lab at the Gingerland Secondary School to accommodate some of these 190 desktops. And this work is to be done over the Christmas, so that come January when school opens, these labs are going to be available and these computers are going to be available for use by our students. You might wonder, Mr. President, why I did not say CSS also, but the TVET project calls for some major renovation work to be done on the technical wing of the Charleston Secondary School, and that wing is the area that houses the main computer labs at Charleston Secondary School. So we would need to get that renovation work done first before we get those computers in there. Nonetheless, there are other labs at Charleston Secondary School that will receive upgraded computers shortly.
Junior Minister of Education, the Honorable Troy Liburd, making his contribution to the NIA's 2019 budget debate. The Department of Social Services is seeking partnerships with the Department of Education and other community-based organizations to assist in developing and managing diversion and prevention programs for at-risk youth, programs that will meet the standards of the OECS Juvenile Justice Reform Project. As part of that initiative, a structured suspension program managed by the Family Services Unit will be introduced at the community level in 2019.
We know that at-risk children or at-risk students normally give trouble in school, and sometimes they are suspended. And normally when they are suspended, they go home. And Mr. President, when they go home, they could cause even more trouble. And so the Social Services Department decided we're going to step in here. And when students are suspended, we are going to take over. And so from next year, when students are suspended, they ain't going home. They're coming to our facility. They're going to be supervised. And while they're there, under suspension, they can still be doing something with their schoolwork, and they could be learning a skill.
The suspension program, which will provide support in dealing with deviant behavior and enable probation officers to do early intervention, is an approved action point in the new education sector plan, for which the Department of Social Services will take the lead. That's how we end this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing.